Hello friends, this is a new and updated video of Mr. Schwartz and his front yard. So as you can see, first off you can probably hear that it's pretty windy, but as you can see, the front yard looks a lot different than it did before. And in fact, we have destroyed and killed most of this grass, because this grass is actually a weed in the state of Florida. It's an invasive weed, so we don't want that grass here. Instead, what we decided to do was plant a very bee-friendly plant. It is called, as you can see down here, it is already starting to flower. We planted in during spring break actually. But it is called Dutch white clover, and what it will do is it will grow and it will flower into a small flower about that big off the ground, and the bees love it. The second thing we did was we increased the radius of the circle here around the oak tree, and because the bees need dirt and mud in order to make their homes, we've actually dug out a little bit around the oak tree, so when it rains that'll turn into mud. We've also purchased a third bee house because the bees were overpopulating the two houses, and it's been pretty hot, so the bees have started to hatch. You can see that there's one up there in the upper left hand house, so he's doing his thing. We've also got a few lizard friends that seem to be hanging around, and lots of ladybugs, which is pretty cool. So we've added quite a bit to the front garden, and we've made it much bigger. There's Colt. Made it much bigger. We've added these two plants here are actually called butterfly bushes because their flowers are perfect for butterflies, so that's pretty awesome. We added a bunch of different bulbines, so we've got different colors here. Looks like we need to add some color, or let's see. No, this is still really damp. That's good. It's just the coloring is off on it, so I might water it. It hasn't rained in a few days, but you know, pretty good. Here's our pigeonberry bush, still doing awesome. And then we got these little white plants down here called vincas. They were supposed to die last year and they didn't, so they're back and ready to roll. Over here we have our calamandan plant, which is a crossbreed. This is a GMO plant. Ooh, GMO is scary. Genetically modified organism, because this is actually crossbred between oranges and limes. So it smells like an orange and tastes a little bit more sour than an orange. It's really neat. I love this plant. I like it. Still got our foxtail fern over here doing his thing. We got our rosemaries. We added more Gora. The pink bushes over there, which is really cool. Our succulents. Ooh, look at those things, man. Our succulents are doing awesome. They're getting ready to flower here soon. We've got our other succulents back here, our potted succulents. They are amazing too. You can see how there's some of like the leaves on the floor. That's actually how they reproduce. They drop those leaves, and when those leaves drop, they actually start to make new plants. And that's how that plant got there. And that vinca there over by the shelf right here in the light, that one just appeared one day, so that was pretty cool. Here's Fred. He's been hard at work. You can see he's got his bandana and his rake, because it took him a long time to do this stuff. This actually took us 3 complete days during spring break. We worked from about Jenny and I worked from about 8 a.m. until 4 in the afternoon. 3 straight days. We got a lot of cool things going on. This is called salvia. This really pretty purplish plant is salvia. Bees love it, which is great because I love my bees. Let's see what else we got going on. Oh yeah, some of the neatest things. Here's some more Gora and bulbines we planted. So a couple of the coolest things we got is way back here in the back. All right, we got our banana tree that's been flowering or producing more leaves, which is great. And then this stuff back here, these 3 plants, this is called milkweed. And the sole purpose of this plant that we plant, the reason we planted it, is because this plant is really, really, really enjoyed by monarch butterflies. So the monarch caterpillars will crawl up here and eat these leaves until they are full. And once they're full, they'll then create a cocoon and they'll get into a chrysalis and they will metamorph into a butterfly, a monarch butterfly. So that's really awesome. So we have the Colt, come, good boy. So we have the pupa and larva phase of a monarch butterfly here, and these flowers, and then over there where we have the butterfly bushes, that's where they can feed. So we have an entire habitat here for monarch butterflies, which is really, really awesome to me. And this plant right here is amazing. This is called a canna lily. They'll grow to be pretty tall and leafy and create new canna lily plants. So this whole area will be pretty canna lily-ish. Haha! And they have these really, really, really beautiful flowers. And they'll continue to reproduce flowers. And you can see here some buds for some new flowers that are going on. Let's see if we can focus. Yeah, there we go. So those will be new flowers soon. Here's my friend Phil, the philodendron. Oh, we got some bees flying around my knees. Haha. So got that going on, which is really exciting. I don't remember the name of this plant, but it's beautiful and it's flowering so well. I think I'm going to turn on the sprinkler system here when it gets darker. The best time to sprinkle your system, the best time to turn on your sprinkle system is in the morning when the sun's coming up, like before the sun comes up, and then at night after the sun's gone down. And the reason that it's the better time to water your lawn is because there's less evaporation occurring. So the water can stay in the ground bit more. So there's more moisture retention. That guy is playing some music. So got my oak tree, pretty tall. And then this is probably, whoa, look how big that guy is. See this plant right here? Dude, he was like nothing. You see how the leaf is just unraveling? I can't remember what these plants are called, but Jenny loves them. They're one of her favorite plants. And that guy just popped up out of nowhere like 3 days ago. And that is such a big plant. It's so cool. And then this right here is the snake plant, or also called the mother-in-law sung. And you can see right underneath here, this guy right here is a brand new plant. He actually just dropped that seed and it's been seeding this spring. So that's awesome. We're really excited about that. And then these guys over here, if you take a look at my November post, you'll see that these plants, the gold dust plants, were really, really tiny. So that's really cool. And then we got another philodendron plant over here is doing really, really well. In fact, he's reproduced too, and he has a little baby plant there. So he's got a baby philodendron that's coming out. Let's see. We got these anise plants. When we bought the house, they came with them, but they're really, really, really slow at growing. So we wanted to move them over to the side of the house so that they could grow at their own time. But you can see all the new leaves, all the really light colored leaves are new. So that's growing too. And then over here, we have our shrimp plant, which still seems to be flowering. It's a little shaky. We're not really sure what's going on with them, but still has flowers. The bees still love them, but there was these bugs on them, We don't know what the bugs are. I tried searching it up, I tried Googling it, and I don't know what they are. Here they are, here's a couple of them. So we went around and we crushed them as much as we could. I'm trying to get it to focus. But you can see the little bug here, and it's got like a hard carapace. So we think maybe it's a snail or a snail species, but we don't know, and I can't get this to focus real well, so don't know, man, don't know. And we got some other ferns over here, and we just planted some random ferns, and they seem to be taking off and doing well. And then these plants right here, there was 3 of them. Jenny decided to what's called kind of like deadhead it, where you take all the old branches and you break them off, so that way it can it forces the plant to grow new branches. So we did that to this one, and you can see that the new leaves are already coming in. They're already flowering, so that's really nice. Oops, let's see, the new leaves are coming in and they're flowering, so that's really nice. But these are called Persian leaf plants. So, and this guy back here, this Persian leaf just decided he was gonna, he's going every which way. So we're really happy with the way things are looking and the way that the garden's been coming along. I'm really happy that the Dutch white clover has been flowering real nice, or has been growing real nice. I'm excited to see how it flowers, because the bee, it's supposed to be like super awesome for bees. In fact, I've read a couple articles where they have had honeybees produce nothing but Dutch white clover honey. So I think that that would be really cool. I might see if I can get a honeybee thing going on if we have enough flowers. I think that would be really neat. But you can see this area over here, that's all clover. That's all the clover we planted that's taken over this area. This is really awesome. That's what we want. We want to have what is called a clover lawn, so we don't have to mow it as often, because I've told everybody many times that Mr. Schwartz is super lazy. So I try to work smarter and not harder. So if I don't have to come out and mow every week, it's what I want to do. But you can see how all the clover is starting to sprout up, which is really awesome. And Colt's being Colt. But anyway, that's my latest update. Oh yeah, something else happened. Let me get over here in the shade so I can show you. So something else about this update. Yeah, I've been growing my beard and I haven't cut it in a very long time. So this is what my beard looks like now. Super long and fluffy. So that's that. See y'all next time.